Hello, everyone, and welcome to the new season of the Purposeful Life Show with your host, Adrian Starks. I'm excited to share some new updates of the show with you, starting with a new look, sound, and energy, as well as a variety of guests coming aboard with intriguing topics of conversation. I hope you enjoy the new level of energy that will be brought to the show. Thank you for all of your support since the very beginning in 2019. Wow, it's been 3 years already? Because of you, the Purposeful Life Show is now in the top 5% of all podcasts globally, and we aim to get it into the top 1%. Continue listening to the show and share it with others. You can also now listen to the show on my Facebook page at Adrian Starks, where you can comment in real time and communicate with me about your aha moments. Thank you again for all of your support, and let's make this one hell of a year and be purposeful about doing that. Wishing you all much love and success. Hi, my name is Adrian Starks, and welcome to the Purposeful Life Show on the Champion Up Podcast. This podcast is for the courageous creators wanting to create a life of meaning, adventure, and fulfillment, all while helping to make the world a better place. I'm happy you're here, and if you're new to our show, make sure to give us that 5-star rating and subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes. Also, connect with us on Facebook and Instagram at Champion Up. It is always that one idea that could be your breakthrough. It's time to step into your courage and believe the champion in you. Welcome back to the Champion Up Podcast, the Purposeful Life Show. I'm your host. My name is Adrian Starks, and what a way to bring in this new year of 2020 with our 50th episode. Boom, we are here. I want to give a special thanks to my courageous creators out here on the planet who have listened to the show, who have subscribed, and who have shared this powerful information with other courageous creators across the planet. I want to encourage you all to continue to subscribe and to be on the lookout for more amazing episodes coming up for 2020. And boy, do we have a lot to share with you this new decade, because we are ready to create our own change. One thing I want to share with you that I'm very excited about is the new Champion Up clothing line apparel store that is available on the Champion Up website. Just go to championup.net and click on the tab that says shop, and you will be right there, because, hey, if you're going to be a courageous creator, you got to start acting like one, and you better wear it with courage. Today, let's talk about courage. Let's talk about going into the year of 2020. And yes, it's just me on this episode with you. I have seen so much happen in 2019, and I consider 2019 like that foundational piece for people. Let me know if you feel this way too, champions out here. It was like you were laying that groundwork, but yet things were challenging. They were hard to break through the surface. And I believe that 2020 is a year for prosperity. It is a year for success. It is a year for everyone to say, finally, this thing I've been working so hard on in 2019, getting my butt kicked in 2019, it is so worth it, because now I'm beginning to see it. 2020 is about what you're going to see. I have heard the speculations about this 2020 perfect vision, and I get it. I know where it's coming from, and I understand its significance in how people can become more focused. However, we're running back into that same problem that has badgered us for so long. That's trying to be perfect. Here is the thing. No one's going to have perfect vision, okay? I don't have perfect vision. I actually wear contacts and I wear glasses from time to time. Anyone that you see, if you ask them, do you have perfect vision? They'll probably tell you no. And the ones that do have perfect vision, or they don't wear contacts or they don't wear glasses, they're still missing out on a lot of pieces around the world that they're not seeing, a lot of things that they're not getting. It reminds me of this quote from a literary champion named Helen Keller. She said, "What's worse, being blind or having eyes and not seeing?" That's what 2020 is about, okay? It is about, what are you willing to see amidst the rubble of all these changes and challenges that are going to come your way, because that's part of life. If you want to grow in this life, you're going to have to grow through those challenges and changes. The key here is, what do you find out of those problems? What can you experience out of those things that will allow you to take the next lesson that was learned into the next challenge or obstacle that will come your way, because it will. And I want to get back here to the conversation about Helen Keller. I mentioned before the literary champion. The reason why her quote was so important to me and why I'm sharing it with you is because she was both deaf and blind. This disease struck her at, I think, about age 5 or 6. I may be a little incorrect here on the actual age, but it was at a very young age this happened to her. Now, it's hard for any of us to imagine all of a sudden losing our eyesight or losing our hearing, but this happens to many people across the globe. And when this happens, they learn to experience life on a different level. They learn to be observers. And observing and seeing are two different things. You can see things with your eyes, but if you do not observe clearly and look at it for what it is or what it could be, you're going to miss out on the beauty and the simplicity of that thing or experience. 2020 should be about appreciating the fact that you have seen so many things in 2019, whether they be good or not so good. You have seen them through experiences. And now 2020 is about taking those things and putting that on as your new way of seeing the world because you have overcome it. I want us to look at 2020 differently. I want us to look at ourselves differently in 2020. Remember this. Things are affected by the way that we think things are. And if you have a perception or a look at life in a certain way, and if it's negative, you're going to get back negative things. If it's all about self-doubt, you're going to get back things that are going to make you be more doubtful. If it's about anger, you're going to get back things that are going to make you angry. You are a mirror. You are a reflection of what you project and what you see back from the world. For some of you, it may be hard to understand this because you may be going through some things right now and you're probably saying, hey, this is not my fault. You're saying this is my fault? No. The first sign of courage is to not blame ourselves or anyone for anything that's going on. There are some things out here in the world that I don't even understand. There are some things that I have seen that I still don't get it. And one of the greatest philosophers of all time, Socrates, he's tattooed on my forearm. He says, I know that I know nothing. That's because we're constantly learning, and he learned through self-observation. Understanding how he responds to his environment, that's what I want for you this year in 2020. To enjoy the journey. Pay attention to the steps you are taking, just like that little child who's walking outside and they're watching their feet. Have you seen that little kid in the park, or you may have a little child like that? They're walking and they're looking at their feet. I want you to pay attention to where you're going in 2020 and to give yourself some credit, and don't be so hard on yourself. There are so many people out here who are telling people that they have to do things this way. They have to take this path. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. You've got a choice to decide where you choose to go. I want 2020 to be coming from your observations. Taking a deeper approach and look at what things do you need to change, your habits, your disciplines, your behaviors, the way you think, the way you talk, the way you act. Does it resonate with you? Is it coming directly from you, or is it coming from some influence you're trying to emulate? This was a big mistake I made as I got into the industry of coaching and speaking. I was trying to emulate this person, that person. I realized that was not me until I took a deep look at myself. Now I am different. Now I work on only expressing myself through that part of me that I truly want to express. And that is by coming to you as the person who embodies Champion Up, as a person who talks about being a courageous creator of change. Because we have to be the change we want to see in this world. It doesn't happen any other way. The planet's changing regardless. And we can contribute to the beauty of this planet, to the love of this planet, by creating that reality for ourselves. And it starts with our vision first. What do you want your life to be like in 2020? And to be patient with yourself. Things will not happen overnight, neither should they. You're going to see some people who are going to sprout up and start having success and happiness, and you're going to be like, oh my goodness, I want that. How come I don't have that? You do not know what battles they have fought to get to that point. Be very aware of that. We are all fighting our own battles, and we all have our own scars. Some people are willing to show those scars. Some people are not. Some of your greatest people out here right now that you think are perfect, they are not, because no one's perfect. So this vision of trying to be perfect, forget it. Work on improvements. This year, take a look at your social groups. You may need to trim down those social groups a bit. Who are you hanging out with that is giving you negativity? Who are you hanging out with that's giving you headaches? Who are you hanging out with that constantly reminds you of your failures? You got to start trimming some of those people away. Maybe you're on a job right now where you don't like it. Well, maybe it's time to try a different position within that job. Maybe it's time to reach higher. Maybe you don't like your health. Well, maybe it's time to take a look at what are you not doing right? Your nutrition, your exercise. Maybe you want to elevate yourself to being more positive. Well, maybe it's time you take a look at what are you reading? What are you listening to? It all starts with us. You got to start taking a look at yourself first and being an observer of your own crap. And yeah, I said that because we don't pay attention to what mess we are creating along the way. Then all of a sudden we get far ahead and we look back, we're like, who made this mess behind me? You did. You made that mess. But you can also correct it. 2020 is a year of vision. It is about looking at things more clearly. It is about taking observations of yourself on a daily basis. This is how you can start changing your life. Starting in 2020, each day, you should be writing down 3 things that you accomplished that day. 3 things that you would like to improve or you could have done better that day. So once again, 3 things that you have accomplished that day that you're proud of, and 3 things that you would like to improve. This is what we call self-observation. And also being grateful for what is in your life currently. Many people in the industry that I'm in, the inspirational, motivational, self-development industry, they talk about gratitude, and it is so true. I believe that gratitude is the new attitude, and we can start having a better vision about ourselves in 2020 by each day looking at what we are grateful for. And you may say, well, hey, Adrian, I don't have much going on. I mean, you've got things going on. And no, we all have things that are going good for us. If you're breathing right now, you've got something good going for you. Because trust me, there's somebody who wished they had another heartbeat. Someone who wished they had another chance to say they love you to somebody, to say they were sorry to somebody. There's somebody who wished they had a chance to look back at their life and make some improvements. You got that chance. Stop trying to be so perfect. You are a human being. You're here to do 3 things: to learn, to grow, and to fully express yourself. And that is up to you to decide how you want to do that. I made the biggest mistake of looking at people who are where I wanted to be and using that as a way to belittle myself. I don't want that for you. So 3 things I want you to do. Each day, look at what has gone right. What are you proud of that day? There's always 3 things to say you've done well because you're doing something good every day. I know you are. You have to. You're brilliant. And then 3 things that you would like to improve because there's always means of improvement. Think about what you're grateful for. Put your mind into a state of love, of gratitude, because that is where true power comes from. If you cannot accept the good things in your life, how can you expect these things to come your way? So 2020 is paying attention to yourself more. Being more self-observant. Each day sitting yourself down, and do not make the excuse, I know this is coming, that you don't have enough time. You got 24 hours, and they're not all guaranteed, but everybody has time. It is what we choose to do with it. And 2020 is going to be about courage. Saying no to the things that you need to say no to, and saying yes to you. Saying yes to paying attention to the abilities that you have, the things that you need to sharpen, the things that you can improve so that you can be a courageous creator out here on this planet. That's what I want for you. I want you to start looking at your life as you intend it to be and to look at ways of finding and creating those circumstances for yourself. That is what it means to have 2020 vision. There is not one successful person on this planet who becomes successful in their field of interest by ignoring what they are doing, what they're thinking, and how they are feeling. Pay attention. There's no elite groups out here on this planet. I am not impressed with how much money someone has. I am impressed with what they choose to do with their lives and how they go about creating change in other people's lives on a positive level. That's my vision for the world. I want you to be that better version of yourself. I want you to elevate this year and make those necessary changes that are going to allow you to step and grow forward into better experiences and better opportunities. 2020 is your year. Do not waste it. Do not allow other people to waste your year for you. You've got to make that decision. I want you to go to championup.net and to listen to this podcast over and over until it resonates with you. Share this podcast with people. And particularly listen to this episode about vision. And I want you to go and check out our new apparel and clothing line store on championup.net. Just go to the tab and click shop and get something that will remind you to be a courageous creator of change, that will remind you to champion up to those obstacles and challenges because we need that reminder. And I want you to feel empowered. I want you to feel like you can create because you can. why else would you be here? Until then, I encourage you all to be that courageous creator in your life. This is the Purposeful Life Show and the Champion Up Podcast with myself, Adrian Starks, and thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed our podcast today, don't forget to give us that 5-star rating and subscribe to the show so you don't miss out on the powerful life-changing content on future episodes. Also, make sure to go to championup.net for even more life-changing content. Until then, I encourage you to be the courageous creator in your life.